Some people go through hard things as kids and come out the other side thinking they're finally free. But here's what nobody tells you. The childhood never really ends. It just hides. When a child experiences repeated trauma, being ignored, hurt, living in chaos, never having anyone safe to turn to, their brain doesn't just record the memory, it rewires itself around it. Scientists call it toxic stress. Unlike regular stress, which actually helps us grow, toxic stress floods a child's body with stress chemicals for so long, with no one there to help calm things down, that it physically changes how the brain develops. Harvard researchers have confirmed this. The parts of the brain responsible for emotions and decision-making actually grow differently. But here's the part that hits hardest. The child doesn't know any of this is happening. They just know the world feels dangerous. So they adapt. They learn to scan every room for signs of trouble. They become the peacekeeper, the invisible one, the person who reads everyone else's emotions just to stay safe. And those strategies? They're actually genius for a powerless kid with no other options. But then something shifts. The kid grows up. And the survival skills don't disappear. They follow. That constant danger scanning becomes anxiety that never turns off. The people-pleasing becomes a total inability to recognize your own needs. The disappearing act becomes emotional numbness. And suddenly, you're an adult who can't rest, can't accept a compliment, and panics when someone texts, "We need to talk," even when it's probably nothing. The strangest part? Researchers who studied over 17,000 people found that a rough childhood doesn't just affect mental health. It increases the risk of physical illness, relationship problems, financial struggles, decades later. The nervous system learned something once, and it hasn't gotten the update yet. Then there's shame. Not guilt. That's different. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am wrong. A child's brain isn't developed enough to understand that bad things happening isn't their fault. So they conclude, if I were better, this wouldn't happen. That belief doesn't disappear at 18. It just gets quieter and harder to find. But this is not a life sentence. The brain can build new pathways at any age. Change is possible. It's just difficult, and it usually needs real support. The kid who survived all of that didn't fail. They did something extraordinary with nothing to work with. But that kid deserves to finally rest. And maybe the most important work any of us will ever do is learning to let them.